So, 100 years ago, this was just after World War One ended. Everyone's going through the depression, all that. Smoking is common, right? Everyone's dad is smoking, everyone's brother is smoking. It's normalized, and people think it's actually kind of healthy for you since it heats up your body, right? So it must get rid of some illnesses. Fast forward 40 years, maybe 30, 1950s and 60s. They find out that smoking causes lung cancer. Shocker. That was the first addiction that we saw, I would say, recently. Because even after people found out, they couldn't quit. They became so accustomed to this bad habit that they kept smoking. And smoking is still around today. Of course, not nearly as common, but people are still smoking, right? Well, let's go forward maybe 10 more years. Caffeine is becoming more common, alongside alcohol. This is about our parents' generation now, maybe our grandparents. And in 1977, they finally found out that alcohol is bad for you. If you think they're dumb back then for indulging in those things, just stick around for a bit. You'll be surprised. Because this generation is a lot worse. So, the effects of alcohol, yeah, some people actually grew up with some abusive parents. And then some people, they need a coffee to get out of the bed in the morning. They need caffeine to function. But it gets worse. So, everyone knows in the 70s weed was common. But it got more common in the 90s. Alongside the birth of the internet. Porn is now a thing. It's no longer just nude magazines. You can now go onto your laptop and then search up porn. It would come up. Go forward maybe 10 years. Consoles are now out. World of Warcraft on your PC. Old RuneScape. FIFA. The first few COD games are coming out. Gaming's now a thing. It's not just in your arcade anymore, it's now in your room. On your computer or Xbox. And let's go forward another 10 years. Early 2010s. Tinder's now a thing. You can now swipe right on any single that you want, who also has the app in your area. Social media is now common. People are now seeing that they could get attention through their phone. And not just in real life. Go forward 10 more years. Everyone has a Netflix or Disney Plus account. Everyone knows someone who vapes. Everyone knows someone who has a shopping addiction online. Everyone knows someone who is chronically online. Constantly watching YouTube videos, gaming. Weed is 56 to 67% more common than it was in the 1970s. And that decade was known as the weed decade. And now we have a full generation of hedonists. People who don't have a purpose on this earth. They're NPCs, literally. Just indulging in pleasure. They go to their job. Do fuck all work all day. Go home and then indulge in the things that they were thinking about while they were at work. There's probably something I've mentioned in this video so far that you've disagreed with. And it's probably the thing that you indulge in. Maybe it's weed, maybe it's alcohol, maybe it's Tinder. Whatever it is, I'ma just list off why every single one of these is bad, right? So just stick around. Because you'll be shocked. Social media. If I told you to delete your social media account right now, your Facebook account or Instagram account, you'll be like, no, because I have my family added on Facebook and I talk to my friends on Instagram. Think about it. You get your sense of community from your phone and not people. You have the fear of missing out by deleting an app on your phone. You think that once you delete Instagram, you'll lose touch with most of your friends. With friends, quality is way better over quantity. And you probably will lose some people, but it's worth it. People, literally social media companies want you to have these excuses that are stopping you from deleting their platforms. There's a reason video game companies and social media companies literally have behavioral psychologists working for them. Because they know what the fuck you want. They know your unmet needs in real life. Want intimacy? Here's porn. You want brotherhood? Call of Duty literally simulates brotherhood. Do you know how fucked that is? People are thinking about talking about AIs having sex. Robots. People are saying, oh, that's crazy. We already go to the virtual world for our unmet needs. If you think that's far-fetched, look today. Look around you. You have all these nerds that are 5'2" and 200 pounds. Absolute losers in real life. And then they hop on Call of Duty. They're a 6 KD demon. And everyone validates them because of their skill level. KD means kill death ratio. Like, they kill 6 people and then they die. Respawn kills... Got it. Weed. Now, a lot of people will disagree with me on this one. But this is pretty much scientifically proven. It ages your brain faster than alcohol. A lot faster. This was in a study of over 50,000 people. And if you are younger than the age of 25 and you smoke weed, odds are you have fucked with the way your dopamine circuitry has developed. The reason why people call this a gateway drug is because once your dopamine circuitry is fucked, which that's what weed does, you are now more vulnerable to other addictions. To go from party drugs to meth. To go from weed to cocaine. And also the last bit is, if you are a loser and you start smoking weed, you go from being a loser thinking, fuck, okay, I'm a loser. What can I do to improve myself? To thinking, once you're on weed, everything's good. I'm chilling. This is a happy place. It makes you fine with being a loser. Also, social media. TikTok mainly. But also Reddit and Twitter, I think, are really bad with this. Infinite scrolling. That's another reason why social media is really bad for you. Because you're constantly hunting for this surge of dopamine. This search for an ass pic. This search for a funny meme. All of this shit that you're constantly hunting, you're getting dopamine while you are hunting for that thing. A rise in dopamine, and then once you hop off social media, it drops down to where you were, and then lower than that. Tinder, hookup culture, and partying. Grouping all of these together because they're pretty much the same thing. When you are going out with your friends clubbing every weekend, they're not your friends. Unless you remove the substance and just have a chat in a room where you're all fully sober, If you guys still have a good time while chatting in a room, you're friends. But if you remove the substance and you're not, you guys are friends with the substance you take together. And hooking up with people on Tinder, or just in real life in general, you're probably thinking, oh yeah, nah, that girl I'm hooking up with, she's the hoe. You're exactly like her. Because if you're valuing the person that you are hooking up with as low quality and easy to get, what do you think you are? You're the exact same. Okay, gaming, I just made a full video like quite a bit ago. It's like 10 minutes long. I'll just put it right here. And vaping. I know a lot of people that vape and it's fucking disgusting. Name 5 chemicals that you know that are in vapes. You probably just said nicotine. You probably said nothing, actually. Well, let me just explain. So, vaping is just smoking, but e-cigarettes, right? It exposes you to bronchospasms, pulmonary edema, and it has acrolein, which is extremely toxic to inhale. Add all those and all the effects you get from smoking, and then you have vaping. Uber Eats. You have the privilege and the pleasure to indulge in as a king 500 years ago. If not more pleasure. Because you don't even need to speak. A king would say to his servants, get me berries from this farm 200 meters away now. Within 5 minutes he would get those berries. You just need to tap on your phone and then just click on Macca's and then you have 2 meals coming to your house. Within 20 minutes. But the thing is, you don't have the same responsibilities as the king. Oh god, porn. This is sort of similar to online shopping, but the reason why both of those are connected is because they are both extremely accessible. Meaning, all you need is the internet. And for online shopping, just the bank account. Porn, just some alone time. Home Alone. And the dopamine you get from porn is absolutely substantial. It is literally known on the internet that the dopamine you get is so fucking high that the crash you get has a name. Post-nut depression, post-nut clarity. You've probably heard of it before. And it fucks with your expectation of reality. If you watch it enough, you probably will experience erectile dysfunction. In the early stages, at least. And shopping addiction, you're teaching yourself to make decisions off emotion. And not logic. Because you're just scrolling through eBay or Wish. Is it Wish? Yeah. Or Trade Me or any of those. And just being like, ooh, what do I want? What do I want? You're just making these micro decisions on what you want in the moment, using emotion. Oh, that looks cool. And then you buy it and it comes to your house. And you don't care about it anymore. What are the effects of all these? Well, we're seeing them today. More and more people are escaping going to these addictions because their lives suck. They need to cope. Now we're seeing depression, anxiety, and fucking eating disorders. If you have a good mental health, all of those fade away, alongside bad physical health or physical health problems. Alongside all that, the death of the family unit. Or it's dying at least. Masculinity is dying and alongside of the family unit. Without the family unit, communities are dying. People are becoming more lonely, drifting off into the virtual world, where they are met with most of these addictions. And it's not like smoking isn't here today, or alcohol, or caffeine. All of these are here today, they just stack up on top of each other. That's why today it's so fucked. This generation has been raised on literal addictions. I installed Instagram when I was 7 years old. And got addicted at 8. Not even knowing what the fucking addiction was. Soon we are going... Well, actually... We saw it over COVID. The middle class is disappearing. It's going to be the poor and the rich soon. The poor being the people that are constantly distracting themselves, working some dead-end job that they absolutely hate, and they just drift off into the virtual world. Soon they'll be in the metaverse. And then there's the rich, the non-distracted people that have purpose, and they actually make goals, and they work hard. Because they know that the pain of working hard now is a lot fucking better than indulging pleasure now. With the death of masculinity, sexual assault is going up, and infertility in men. Because most of the things that decrease your testosterone also decrease your sperm count. I'm not going to cite any sources. You can just go watch Andrew Huberman or literally just search up anything I said. It's all facts. I promise you. I spent a few hours making this video. Planning this video, not making. How do you avoid this? How do you avoid all these addictions? You don't chase pleasure. I have been having cold as fuck showers most days of the week for a few months now. Simply, fuck the health benefits. I know there's a lot, but fuck them. I do it because it's painful. It's hard not to have that hot shower and instead literally put the water as cold as it can go. Just because it's painful. I turned from the type of person that would get a tattoo because it's cool to the type of person that would get a tattoo because it's painful. I'm not saying you have to be like extreme like me or even more like David Goggins, but don't indulge in pleasure. Whatever brings you happiness, make sure it comes from work or the people around you or your hobbies. Something natural. Something that would bring joy to someone 200 years ago. You need to live with purpose and not be hedonistic. Yeah. Because indulging in at least I think 2 of these is average. Just because it's average doesn't mean it should be normal. Yeah. If you don't want to be average, click the subscribe button and peace.